Hi, Taurus. Hi, Bull Gang. This is going to be your reading for the next 7 to 10 days. Thanks for being here with me, Taurus. If you're new, please subscribe and hit the bell so you know when I read for your sign. Keep in mind that things could kind of be opposite and roles could be reversed here, Taurus. Let's just take a look at this week for you. Taurus, don't let the past hold you back. I see that you're going through some kind of a transformation, but there is quite a bit of fear that you have to work through and overcome. Your totem this week is the butterfly, and the totem in challenge, the animal totem in challenge, is the raccoon. I love the butterfly totem because it's so Taurian. This is about undergoing great change and transformation. So this is a week of transformation. You're probably going to feel pretty cheerful and graceful most of the time, but when you're feeling out of balance, you might feel kind of fragile and a little frustrated. I do see that you'll experience quite a bit of vulnerability. The medicine recommended when butterfly is your totem is daily routine, okay? And that's what you guys are all about. Daily routine will help you deal with frustrations and vulnerability. It'll help you feel more sure of yourself when you do things that are ritualistic in nature that feel comfortable for you. And it will keep you in that flowing, graceful, cheerful Taurian attitude that you guys always have. This is an air element though. Butterfly is an air element, not an earth element. And it's an element of the heart. So it usually signifies a change in your relationships. It could also be a relationship with job or career. Your feelings might be transforming for a person or a situation, but since transition is accompanied by some amount of discomfort, it's really important to be patient with yourself right now, Taurus, okay? Be kind and patient with yourself. Change and growth can be a bit uncomfortable. It is uncomfortable for you now. Try to let your friends and activities support you kind of like a cocoon, and definitely commit to a daily routine, whether it's like a meal, a practice, a prayer done at the same time in the same place. That will help uplift you into butterfly spirit. I'm so sorry, you guys. The minute I turn on the camera, I start to get hoarse. It's almost like, sorry, God, this is, I know it's happening. There's a shadow part here trying to keep me from speaking because some of you have been holding yourselves back. Here's why, because your main challenge is raccoon. This is about being very talented, but not feeling safe to show your talents to others. Raccoon energy is at play, usually for artists to a greater or lesser degree. At best, it indicates talent, tenacity, and skillfulness with a particular instrument or maybe a creative tool. But the shadow side that raccoons points to is like an unresolved issue surrounding like your self-image, your success. Sometimes using a stage name or wearing a mask works in your favor, but other times it's going to eliminate or limit your creativity. So think about, who am I right now? What does my audience think of me? Can I be okay with other people's opinions? Am I really afraid to show the real me? Like raccoon energy won't let you off the hook until you get over like a creative ego fear. Wow. So some of you have been hiding your talents and trying to develop your talents more before you let your own talents reveal themselves. You may feel like you have to wear a mask. You may be feeling kind of shy. You're trying to grow into something new, but there is this shyness here. Let go of the stage name, okay? Let go of hiding. A new you is emerging, Taurus, and it will just feel a little vulnerable. Again, lean into your routines, what feels like a cocoon of support. That's going to be really important. The moon is really, the moon and the energy of needing to be dignified is really influencing you right now astrologically. The moon is about who we are underneath. Your moon sign is who you are when you're all alone before you go to bed at night. So it will be a very emotional week, but your perception of reality is going to determine the quality of your reality. So this week you may be challenged in that way, Taurus. Watch how your mood impacts the way you see yourself, the way you perceive others around you. There's a lot of untapped hidden potential right now, but the future remains to be seen. You have to trust your instincts and intuition and honor your mood, okay? If you're in the mood to step out and be cheerful and graceful, honor that. If you're not, pull back, okay? And just recognize how moods and feelings interface and interact with our perceptions of things. I do see a challenge that you're going to face is being dignified. The past might be resurfacing right now. Yeah, old stuff, taboo stuff, heavy stuff, stuff that needs to be addressed and transformed. Stuff about the past and past perceptions may come back. Okay, you might be having a bit of a retrograde kind of week. I think that you may hold yourself back to a degree right now because you're afraid of maybe being seen as a newbie, being seen as vulnerable, being afraid to be seen as anything other than perfect. Taurus, a perfectionist, shocker. You guys do have a side of you that I notice that Taurians aren't so much perfectionists. That's Virgo. Taurus mostly wants it to be absolutely beautiful and very functional in form. So you can be really hard on yourselves at times. I also think you're afraid of maybe getting something wrong, and you're afraid to let loose to a degree. Perhaps you're afraid of unleashing in some way this week. It is something from the past that's holding you back. You can always fall back on and lean into your South Node traits, Taurus, but not at the expense of authenticity and bravery, okay? Don't let the past hold you back. Don't lean into your South Node traits unless they're going to help you through a transition and help you take off your mask and be the real you. Some of you are just afraid to creatively express. Your fear memory of stuff that happened in the past might be getting in the way. Fear memory is necessary and good. It keeps us from making the same mistakes and getting hurt over and over again or experiencing failure over and over again. But that fear memory can also limit you from imagining best case scenarios. Have confidence this week and believe in yourself, Taurus. You don't need to be perfect. They wanted me to use the Alice in Wonderland Oracle deck, and it further indicates that you're just a little afraid of things being messy, which is not like you. Taurians usually aren't afraid of making a mess if it means there's going to be progress and growth, right? You'll get your hands dirty. Taurus is never afraid to get their hands dirty. That would be Libra, your air sign counterparts. I'm a Libra. I'm ruled by Venus too. I notice you guys will get your hands dirty a little bit more than we will. But you're afraid to do something wrong right now. I like what this deck has to say. All in a golden afternoon. Inspiration, creative spark, imagination, and conception. The beginning is a week to conceptualize ideas. Okay, so we have an idea, we have information. Now it's time to create a concept around it to make it applicable. It will be a week of being inspired. You will be very imaginative and you will find creative spark. But your challenge is becoming braver because you wonder what's gonna happen next. Okay. Who in the world will I be if I take off this mask? It will take bravery. You've been holding yourself back in some way. Maybe you've been somebody's assistant, but you've been afraid to step into a leadership role. Maybe you have these amazing creative abilities, but you're afraid to write under your real name. Maybe you've been using a pen name or a pseudonym or a stage name. It's time to work on becoming braver, okay? Because you're going to have these creative ideas that are going to lead to personal shifts and perceptions and transformations. And I think it's going to make you feel a little raw. You might be afraid that like the way you express yourself won't be well received, or it'll be kind of emo, a little extra, a little out of hand, a little messy. So what? No, really, so what? Like, you can be a little messy in the beginning, okay? It's just about being brave, okay? You have to be resilient this week. You have to let yourself experience things in order to grow stronger and in order to have a fresh perspective. It is not the week to hide in echo chambers and not try new things. Definitely work on bravery and trying new things. It's okay not to know what will happen next. I wonder what will happen next. You're ready for an adventure and you're on the precipice of change, but you feel the need to pause. And I can see it because we have 3 pages on the table and 2 of them are in the reverse. You're afraid to try something new. And whether you realize it or not, Taurus, or you're just afraid of transformation and change, whether you're aware of it or not, it's because of stuff that happened in the past that you may or may not be conscious of. Hopefully this reading will bring it all into focus for you. Be mindful of illusion this week, okay? If you're holding yourself back because of stuff that happened in the past, it could all be simply your emotional perception of things. Again, remember, emotions aren't facts, and they're also not permanent. They're temporary, okay? Let yourself see and let yourself be seen is what I'm hearing. Interesting. So this could be your energy and action, or this could just be what you're experiencing. You have to take it as it resonates, but I'm reading for you, so we're reading this as you. Overall energy you're experiencing right now, Taurus, is the Page of Wands in reverse, and the catalyst or challenge is the Two of Wands in reverse. Clarifying this is the Lover's strength, there's dignity, and here you are, the Queen of Pentacles. Some of you may be dealing with a Leo, another earth sign this week, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn, or a Gemini. If you have Leo or Gemini in your chart, check out where it is. That will show you what parts of your life are going to be impacted and the strengths and weaknesses to be on the lookout for. Always be on the lookout for the strengths and weaknesses. So Taurus, I feel like the beginning of the month is about pulling back and trying to kind of get into alignment with your own personal goals. There may have been a situation, or even right now, a situation where there's a mutual attraction and you're open to discovery. But this week, it's like, I'm not as open to communication, singing my song, looking for new inspiration. I feel the need to go within. And it seems like you know that the angel of the divine is trying to influence you to move towards things that are right for you. The Lovers in Gemini is about choices and love. It's also about sex and about having choices in partners. But the deeper spiritual quality of the Lovers and the spiritual lesson that Gemini is showing up to teach you is that total value alignment between yourself and others, it's what is supposed to be focused on right now. It's not about what's wrong for you. It's about what's right for you. And picking like that match made in heaven, relationship, job, ideal you, whatever. You feel yourself being drawn to things, but you feel the need to also be very dignified. I think you know that right now your words and actions have power. And it's kind of like a what would Jesus do kind of moment. You are reserved in the face of your choices, and you are not going to do anything that ungrounds you. You're looking very grounded, very practical at this time. And it's like, nope, I'm not going to explore new things until, or a relationship or a situation. I'm not open to that discovery and coming into alignment with something until I'm certain it's not going to interfere with my foundation, what brings me security, and my own personal goals. Thank you very much. Maybe a little bit more of a homebody this week too. Like you're resisting change a little bit. You don't want it to get too out of control. You're resisting a development. You also may stop communicating with a person for some reason this week, or stop being interested in something. It's a refocus on the self. And the reason for this is because the Five of Cups is in reverse for what's driving you. There was something that was hurting you that you were disappointed about. You're working on getting over that at this time. It's like, I feel options. I feel that there are people and places and things and new paths for me to discover, but I'm still working on my personal dignity, containing my healthy ego, not letting that get out of hand. And I really want to be grounded. I need to play it safe until I continue to get over this stuff. There was something that hurt your feelings that you're still trying to get over. Deep within, your subconscious is the moon. Here it is. We've got the moon twice. So Pisces energy. Clarifying this is the Star, the Page of Cups, and the Knight of Cups. That's water sign energy. Pisces, Cancer, Scorpio energy. Also Aquarian energy. There is something that you want to open up to. There may be something that you want to say, that you want to do. Some of you want to reconnect to a childhood dream that you once had. There's a lot of creative, emotional, idealistic, and vulnerable energy coming off of the Page and the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is very romantic. It's very, it idealizes life. It can even be somewhat immature at times, but the Knight of Cups means that you haven't given up on love, creative expression, and it's the opposite of bitterness. There's something that you want to say. There's something that you want to do. There's something that you want to emotionally and creatively express in order to create healing and in order to break a glass ceiling. But the problem you're facing is you don't know where that will lead you if you take action. It's like you want to make this grand sweeping gesture towards something. It could even be an apology or something like that. Like it looks like you really want to open up and create that sense of feeling free and new and letting go of things that have been difficult in the past, but you're just not sure if you should. You may start to have an intuitive knowing about a path to take with a person or with your own life direction moving forward. It will recapture a sense of idealism. It will be sweet, it will be vulnerable, and it's very hopeful. It is very hopeful and idealistic. Watch out for illusion, though. I think you are watching out for illusion. It's like, I want to open up, but I'm a little bit afraid of what will happen if I do. And that might be happening in several parts of your life. There is untapped hidden potential. What you're thinking about all the time is this Page of Cups. Wanting to open up, wanting to be vulnerable. Pages explore and study in the tarot. They're very powerful and very pivotal little characters. They often involve children and childhood. This could be about a child as well. Something about a child's emotional development as well. And having hope for creativity, having hope for your own inner child. Clarifying the Page of Cups is the Three of Wands, the Four of Wands, and the Sun. Some of you may want to approach a person or a situation in a very emotionally vulnerable way, and it may involve going to a place or a destination where it's really beautiful, you have a lot of fun, there's a lot of optimism. This might be about like a place to send your kids, a place you can go yourself that helps you reconnect to your inner child. You may think about inviting someone to come and spend time with you. You're also assessing for growth potential in the future. You may be thinking about relocation or moving. You may be planning for trips and things to do 1 year from now, next summer at this time. Because we just had like Labor Day weekend, you may be thinking, next summer, I want to take the kids to this place. It could be by water and it could be in a warm and sunny place. It could also be associated with Disneyland or Disney World. One is on the East Coast and one is on the West. You're opening up to something here. That's what your higher self is telling you. Think about the future. Think about stability in hearth and home. And how can you introduce more happiness? How can you pull that in? How can you be vulnerable? There's something you're afraid to do, though, with someone or something here, because your action right now is the Tower in reverse. Okay, clarifying this is the Seven of Wands, the Eight of Swords, and the Nine of Wands. That's some fear memory getting to you right there. Taurus, right now, it's like you're so hopeful and wanting to open up emotionally and creatively to make something happen, to expand a relationship or yourself in some way. But right now you are the island of nope. You're like, no more chaos. Thank you very much. I am not willing to do massive sudden onset change at this time. Well, give yourself a break. First of all, Taurus, you're a fixed earth sign. The Tower is really not your jam. Like death as an ending, as opposed to the Tower, feels a little bit more comfortable to you because death is slower. But the card of death represents a slower ending and transformation. The Tower is, no, we're going to change like that. Let's just rip the Band-Aid off and make a sudden shift in awareness. It's going to feel chaotic. Now, if this has to do with like where you live, what you're doing with your life, you definitely look like you're afraid of massive change. You might also be avoiding change because you know that once you make a change, you're going to have to deal with a whole lot of questions, a whole lot of people. It's feeling kind of overwhelming. You want space. You're also really trapped in your head and imagining worst case scenarios, Taurus. And you're afraid of what will happen. Perhaps it's with a person or a situation where your boundaries weren't honored in the past. Perhaps there were a lot of flying monkeys and he said, she said, and too many people involved. Perhaps you're just overthinking the shit out of it. We are avoiding the Tower this week, it would seem. Okay, Scorpio energy here. Cancerian energy here. Aquarius, Gemini, Leo, wow, lots going on, lots of influences. And you see yourself as Temperance in reverse. If you have Sagittarius in your chart, it may be a struggle to embody the higher qualities. You may also be dealing with a Sagittarius, but not this week. So with this Temperance energy, it's hard for you right now to maintain balance and equilibrium. You may see yourself as not being able to really determine the purpose of what you're doing before you do it. This week, you may change your mind a lot. You may run hot and cold with yourself and with others. It may also be difficult for you to maintain an aloof, calm, gray rock exterior. It's like you want to open up to something emotional and healing, but there is a fear of what will happen. It may make you feel out of balance. And I was like, why? What's going on here? The 7 of Swords, the 9 of Swords, and then the 8 of Pentacles in reverse. Taurus, don't do this to yourself. I mean, we're doing this Monday, so you have like from now until next Monday to work through all this stuff. I can definitely see that when it comes to making something happen here, you are feeling like it's difficult for you to be yourself. You may feel as though you're not supported. You may feel like you want to get out of situations that you're uncomfortable with. You might even feel like you have to lie. You definitely are going to have to face some insecurity moving in. Watch out for stressing yourself out about work and details. Like whatever you're putting effort into, you usually love the 8 of Pentacles. This is what you teach the rest of us to do. Hi, I'm Taurus. I work hard. I set up a good routine. I devote myself to stuff. I keep my head down and I just do what I'm here to do. I fly under the radar and I work. The end. That's Taurus. That's why you guys are so beautiful. You're so down to earth, but it looks like you're terrified to be your real self right now. Really worried about what you see, really worried about what you're doing. Watch out. You know, it might just be a week where like nothing satisfies you, like about yourself. Like, no, this is wrong. That's wrong. I keep working on it. But the more I work on it, the more stressed out I am, the more insecure I feel, the more I want to run away from something. And it's just harder and harder for me to be calm, to keep equilibrium. You may struggle to have an emotional sobriety this week. There's clearly a fear that you're working through. Remember, Butterfly is saying it's a time of transition, okay? Work through your frustrations and surround yourself with support. But it looks like there's something weird going down maybe between yourself and someone else. So in the environment, this is a person in your environment. This person sees themselves as the 4 of Cups in reverse. The way they feel is the 7 of Wands in reverse, and their action is the 10 of Cups. Okay, this person was like for a while, like they just didn't really know what they wanted. Like they just climbed in a martini glass, drank it all, and was like, this is boring. This isn't really doing it for me. They've done a lot of emotional reevaluation and really held still emotionally. They didn't want to lose their emotional stability that they had. 4 can be hard to grow out of because it's like, okay, it's a solid foundation. But wait, we're not growing. We're not making any progress. This person was holding themselves back emotionally. Now they're not. Also, this person was very get out of my face, don't come near me. Like I feel overwhelmed. I feel somewhat attacked. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to talk about it. This person is letting down their guard. They're letting down their guard. They're more receptive at this time. They feel less of a need to defend themselves. Walls coming down, and the action they're taking is the 10 of Cups. This person is open to emotional fellowship with others. This could be focused on family. This could be a family member. You could have been pushing family members out for a while, or the 10 of Cups can also be like a group of people that come together that feel like a family. It creates that happily ever after feeling. But you need to know that maybe where there was resistance in the past, there's going to be less resistance between yourself and this person or this environment right now, because they do want that happily ever after emotional stability. I pulled out my oracle deck and asked Spirit, can you tell me a little bit about this person or this situation? Because it seems like there's something here that you could be a part of. like a group or maybe a specific relationship, but you have not wanted to because something hurt in the past. What you need to know about this person or situation is they do a lot of kicking and screaming. Learning lessons is difficult for them. They also are an emotional person that is not afraid to express themselves. Maybe that's why you're afraid to express yourself. This person might take up a lot of emotional space. There could also be something about like learning. You could go into an environment where you learn how to work through heavy, intense emotions. Okay, that could be an environment that you're in. Like kicking and screaming is encouraged, like let it out. Through kicking and screaming, this person has learned lessons. They have had lessons learned. They did kick and scream and tantrum their way through those lessons, but they have learned lessons learned. And what they have to say is, I can't live without you. They're dangling a carrot. So there may be an invitation here, but like a passive aggressive one. So you may find that someone or something just magically unblocks you in the hopes that you will approach, because we've got a dangling carrot. This person or this situation might be afraid to tell you how much they need you or how much they think they need you. And you're like, yeah, I'm not sure how much they need me either. As a matter of fact, I'm not sure I even want to do this. As a matter of fact, I'm having a freeze response to exploring anything at the moment. Yikes. There's definitely a trigger here for you, but not all hope is lost because you see yourself as the magician. This is the way you're feeling right now. Well, if I want something done, I'm going to have to do it myself. I'm going to have to make it up as I go along. I am going to have to play with my own power and my own ability to manifest, even if I'm not 100% sure where I'm going. I love that this is how you're going to feel this week. I'm proud of you because I love the clarification cards. What's clarifying what you're manifesting is the Two of Wands. We have the Moon again, but then we have the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, we're not moving quickly, but we are willing to determine direction. It's like you're holding yourself back because you don't want to do anything that's out of alignment with your own personal goals and your own sense of stability, right? You also want to maintain dignity. You're also a little bit afraid to be yourself. And fast, rapid, sudden onset transformation is not your jam. I think you're going to realize this week, Taurus, that it is entirely up to you to create your own destiny. And you're going to feel a sense of personal empowerment. It's like, dude, no one makes this shit up for me but me. I manifest my own direction in life, and I will hold still and get into alignment with my personal goals as long as I am the one creating it. I create the blueprint, I create the map, I determine how I plug it into the GPS. I am making this happen. It's all about what I want to do here, even in the face of uncertainty and even in the face of a lot of unknowns. I can move forward and I don't have to move quickly. It will be a struggle for you to step outside of your comfort zone. That's okay. It is not your purpose to run around like a lunatic. You're not Aries, okay? And you're not Gemini. Like, that's part of their purpose. Let's fuck around and find out. Let's do silly shit. Hold my beer. What do I have to lose? That is not you, Taurus. This is you. You do move more slowly. You won't step outside of your comfort zone like a lunatic. It's not your purpose. This is your purpose. Slow and steady wins the race. Are you going to be afraid to step outside of your comfort zone? Yes, but you're handling it the right way. It's like, I'll step outside of my comfort zone if I'm the one that determines how I do it and the pace in which I go. That's how I deal with unknowns. Exactly. Watch out that you're not creating mystery and fear for yourself. Some of you need to hear, you'll never know until you give it a go and until you try. The future is not meant to be known. Okay? Slowly approach it. It's like there could be something here if I just show up. Yeah. But the final outcome is the Page of Swords. A little all talk, no action this week. There's something that you're not ready to talk about yet. There's something that you're not ready to explore yet. And it is the past. I'm like, oh, here's some South Node stuff. The reason the Page of Swords is in reverse is because the Six of Cups, the Five of Cups, and the High Priestess. Here's Pisces energy. Yeah. You're not ready to talk or deliver and receive information and knowledge because there's stuff about the past that hurts. This could have to do with a child as well, your child or your own inner child, okay? Because we have the Six of Cups with a page. You have fond memories about something. It's like a part of you is like, there's no bridges burned. When I remember my past, I remember it with a sweetness and a fondness, but there's also some things that make me sad. You may really miss a person, but you're just not ready to talk to them yet. Just working through that stuff, there's been like a sadness, and you feel the need to hold back and be reserved. It's like, nope, I feel like I need to, like your own primal instincts and intuition aren't quite enough for you right now. I feel like the first week where you're saying, I'll talk and I'll explore and I'll deliver and receive information and I'll get curious about a person or a situation when I feel like I can trust my own intuition. You may even feel like you have to lean into your psychic intuition because there's just too much about the past that's clouding your ability to see what could happen in the future. You're also holding back quite a bit. Yeah, you're trying to get over something that was destabilizing. And there's still quite a bit of pessimism and heartbreak. It's like it's not quite time to feel sexy and exciting because there's something that you have to confront. Be the real you. It's time to be brave. Let yourself be creative and change. Okay? And remember that even in the face of moody, heavy, changing emotions, you can be dignified. Someone is dangling a carrot. They may even be insistent, Taurus, like, I've learned my lessons. I don't know what you're talking about. Come on, open up to me. I can't live without you. We're family after all. And they're going to dangle a carrot. You're looking like the island of nope for a reason. So I am going to clean all this up. I'm going to leave these cards on the table and I'm going to do an extended reading. I'm going to clarify what's going on with this person or this situation a little bit more deeply, how someone is seeing you, more about how you're seeing yourself, and maybe a future prediction about what could happen between the two of you. Let's see if this is good for you, or this is something you should open up to, or if you're just holding yourself back because you're afraid. But that is your week, Taurus, my brave little butterfly. Hope it resonates and hope it helps. I'm always listening to the universe for you, Taurus. Take care. I love you guys. I'll see you next time.